Hi again, 7th graders. We are covering section 1.2 on adding integers. Some key terms here. The first one is opposites. And opposites are two numbers that are the same distance away from 0, so they have the same absolute value, but they're on opposite sides of 0. So an example would be 3 and negative 3. And if I was to draw a quick number line, and here's my 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If my lines and my spacing is correct, the distance from here to here is the same as the distance from here to here. So negative 3 and 3, they have the same absolute value, which would be 3, and they're just going in opposite ends of the number line. So the other term for this, or AKA, also known as opposites, are sometimes referred to as additive inverses, meaning we're adding the opposites, or so that's another term that you'll hear kind of often. The next term here is the additive inverse property, and that property says that the sum of an integer and its additive inverse, or the sum of an integer and its opposite, is always going to be 0. So for example, if I were to plot this example here, 6 plus negative 6, I'm going to start at where it told me to, at 6. I'm going to add a negative 6. So what that means is I'm going to add numbers going in the negative direction. So negative 6, so I'd be going 1 in the negative direction, 2 in the negative direction, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the negative direction. So that would be negative 6. And where do I end up at? I'm ending up at 0. Adding an integer and its opposite will always get you to 0. It's like saying, I'm going to give you $1 and then I'm going to take away $1 from you. Well, you're going to be back to 0. What is the opposite of 5? So opposites, again, if we remember back to the first term, opposites are numbers that are the same distance away from 0 but on opposite sides. So if I just draw a quick kind of number line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so this is 5. I have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lengths away from 0, so I get the number 5. I need to keep going 5 more lengths in the opposite direction to get to where I need to be. So if I went 5 more, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'd end there, and that number is going to be negative 5. So negative 5 would be the opposite of 5. And the same would be true for negative 5. If I said, what's the opposite of negative 5? Well, in that sense, I'd be counting my directions back to 0, and then I'd be going in the next direction to get back to positive 5. So opposites are always going to be the same number, just with the opposite sign. So if it's positive, it'll be negative. If it's negative 5, it'll be positive 5. So find negative 3 plus 12, and we're going to use our kind of army guy analogy, where we have the bad guys, or the negative army guys, and the positive army guys. So we're going to call negative numbers as the red, and the positives are going to be blue. So if I draw my pictures, I have 3, negative army guys, and I have 12 positive army guys. And I'm just going to draw them in kind of rows. Okay, so there's 12. So my 3 here are going to cancel these 3 here and become my 0 pairs. What am I left over with? Well, I have 9 positives. So negative 3 plus 12 is going to equal positive 9. Same thing. I have negative 11 guys. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then I have 6 positive guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I were to kind of group these 4 would go with these 4. Those are gone. They're my 0 pairs. and I have 2. I gotta grab 2 more to pair up with those. And so what I'm left with, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negative army guys. So negative 11 plus 6 is going to be negative 5. And 12 plus a negative 5, again, my negative numbers, I'm going to keep red, positive, I'm going to keep blue. So I have 12 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I have 5 negative army guys. So I'm going to start pairing them up. A group of 3 and a group of 3, those cancel. And I have 2 here. I need to grab 2 from this side. Those cancel out, and what I'm left with is 2, 4, 6, 7 on this side. So I have 7 leftover positive guys, which means 12 plus negative 5 is 7. And lastly, I have 4 plus a negative 4. We could do our normal army guys where I kind of draw them out and we see who cancels who, and I can do that. What you should recognize right off the bat, though, is that 4 and negative 4 are opposites. So here we have our additive inverse property, which says that if I have the sum of an integer and its opposite, that they're always going to equal 0. And so let's just double check that here. I have 4, they cancel out with these 4. That means I have 0 army guys left, which means 0 is the answer for 4 plus negative 4.